Good evening and welcome to the December 19th, 2018 legislative session of the Town Board. I'll ask that we please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Cole.
Here.
LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here. Okay, we will start with communications and announcements, and I'll recognize our clerk, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The town and county tax bills will be available December 31st. If you are traveling and need your bill to go to a winter address, please contact the tax office at 340-8626. And if you are planning on paying your taxes early on December 31st, please contact the tax office in advance. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. The Jack Foundation will hold a special holiday blood drive in memory of Jack Heiligman on Friday, December 21st at the Penfield Community Center from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Each presenting donor will receive a free long-sleeve Red Cross t-shirt while supplies last. To schedule a donation appointment to help save a life during an emergency, please contact 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org. Walk-ins are also welcome. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Mrs.
I
Metzler.
have one announcement tonight. Just a reminder, our Department of Public Works is prepared for the season and ready to keep Penfield roads safe for all who travel in our town. DPW crews manage 18 plow routes covering 445 miles of roads with 21 plow and salt trucks. We also plow 45 sidewalk miles with 3 plows. With that in mind, please note the following winter rules and safety reminder. Winter parking rules are in effect November 15th to April 1st. This means no parking is allowed on all roads and highways between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. to allow DPW crews to safely and effectively maintain the roads. Vehicles in violation of this rule will be towed at the owner's expense. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I have just 2 announcements. First, the Penfield Town offices and the Penfield Library will be closed on Monday, December 24th, and Tuesday, December 25th. Additionally, we'll also be closed on Tuesday, January 1st for New Year's Day. My second announcement, I would like to recognize Dave Woodward and Woody Acres of Woody Acres on Harris Road. Dave and his family donated the gorgeous tree that's in the rotunda for all to enjoy, and I'd just like to recognize Dave, his family, and the tree farm for that support. Thank you very much. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Quick reminder, Penfield Rec's program registration will begin on January 2nd for Penfield residents. Early registration will be available for programs of high community interest, so please don't miss out and go to penfieldrec.org to sign up for activities that you're interested in. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mrs. Cole.
I have one one announcement. My next community chat will be Tuesday, January 15th, from 5:30 to 7 in the new book area at the Penfield Library.
Great, thank you very much. This brings us to public participation. There are 2 opportunities to address the board on any matter at this time and again at the end of the agenda. You can do that one of 3 ways. If you're here in the auditorium, you can come to the podium. The second way is to dial in at 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org. I'll ask our clerk, has anyone signed up to speak?
No, they have not.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to additions and deletions to the agenda, and I'll recognize Councilwoman Cole.
I'd like to move that Resolution 218 be added to the agenda, is authorizing for bids for printing program brochure.
I'll second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. That will appear under new business as resolution number 218 under under community services. We have 2 sets of minutes before us. The November 7th, 2018, would entertain a motion of approval for those minutes, please.
I move that the minutes of November 7th be approved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on those minutes? No. Seeing no discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote on the November 7th minutes.
And before I do that, I need to know who seconded. 2 people. Okay. Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you. We have a second set of minutes, that is November 28th, 2018, and would entertain a motion of approval for those minutes.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Further discussion? See no further discussion. A roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you. Has the town board, town attorney, or town clerk received any petitions since the last time we were together? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions by function, and we'll start with law and finance, please.
2018 budget transfers and amendment.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas transfer of funds are necessary for anticipated expenditures and reconciliation as year-end approaches, whereas the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to current income and expenditures. Now it be resolved that the following budget transfers be approved. From assessor payroll, fire marshal payroll, rec administration payroll, security part-time payroll and contingency, to tax receiver payroll, parks payroll, town historian, highway administration payroll, general fund total of $21,600. Also budget amendment under revenue for Monroe County reimbursement of $20,301 to appropriations for election inspectors in the amount of $20,301. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion on this resolution? See no further discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Approval of issuance of a special permit to allow a home automation office at 2025 Penfield Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board for the issuance of a special permit pursuant to Chapter 250-5.4-D5 of the Code to consider allowing a home automation installation, sales, and service office at 2025 Penfield Road in the planned zoning district. Now therefore be it resolved that the applicant's request for this special permit to allow a home automation installation, sales, and service office is hereby granted, subject to the following conditions. For the record, Mr. Supervisor, there are 7 conditions, all appear to be consistent with past resolutions of this type of action by the board. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Discussion? See no further discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Granting incentive zoning and final site plan approval to allow a 4,500 square foot retail building and a 4,500 square foot office building at 2146 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board pursuant to 255-8 and 250-12.2 of the Code to consider an application for incentive zoning and final site plan approval for the development of a 4,500 square foot retail building and a 4,500 square foot office building on 1.45 acres in the business non-retail zoning district at 2146 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road. Whereas the application had requested and received preliminary and final re-subdivision and site plan approval from the town board on October 15, 2014 for the development of a 6,000 square foot retail building at 2150 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road and preliminary site plan approval for 4,080 square foot building, retail building, and a 5,000 square foot office building on subject property. Now therefore be it resolved that the applicant's request for incentive zoning and final site plan approval for the development of the 4,500 square foot retail building and the 4,500 square foot office building on the 1.45 acres in the business non-retail zoning district be granted subject to the following conditions. I'd like to note for this resolution there are 15 conditions, and these conditions are consistent with other buildings and other development as they have been built in this particular zoning district on in the 2146 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road area. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for town attorney and counsel to town of attorney to proceed with legal action.
Moved.
Second.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Penfield hereby authorizes the town attorney and counsel to the town attorney to proceed with legal action in New York State Supreme Court against the owner of the property at 2575 Browncroft Boulevard, Rochester, New York.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Awarding the contract for janitorial services at the town hall and town library.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas sealed bids were sought and requested in a manner prescribed by law to furnish the Department of Public Works with a service contract that would provide the town of Penfield with janitorial services at the town hall and town library facilities. And whereas the contract bid specifications state that the agreement will run from January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2019, with an option to renew the contract for up to 2 additional terms upon mutual written consent of both parties. And whereas on November 30th, 2018, the following sealed bids were received, opened, and read publicly from the following list of suppliers: Clark Building Services, Jan Pro of Upstate New York, and Green Facility Solution. And whereas the bid received from Clark Building Services was the lowest bid and meets the expectation and specifications of the bid package for an annual cost of $41,059.92, and whereas the funds for these services are available in the 2019 DPW facilities and library budgets, and now therefore be it resolved that a contract is awarded to Clark Building Services to provide janitorial services at the town hall and town library facilities. This resolution and the bid submitted by Clark Building Services shall constitute the contract. This agreement is to be reviewed and approved by the town attorney.
Thank you. Discussion? Further discussion? Seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign recreation contracts.
So moved.
Second.
This authorizes the town supervisor to sign 22 recreation contracts, and they're contracts of programs that are taking place, most of which are in the new recreation brochure.
Okay, thank you. Further discussion? See no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
We'll move on. Is there any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, new business, and we'll recognize the reading of Resolution 218.
Advertising for bids for printing program brochure.
So moved.
Second.
Be resolved that the Director of Recreation be authorized to advertise in the manner prescribed by law for sealed proposals to furnish the town of Penfield the following: printing of the Recreation Department's seasonal program brochure. Be it resolved that the service is covered by such sealed proposals in accordance with the specifications prepared by the Director of Recreation. Sealed proposals are to be submitted to the office of the town clerk until 11 a.m. January 17th, 2019, and then and there be opened and read publicly.
Thank you. Discussion? See no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
This brings us to our second public participation of the evening. Again, if you're in the audience, you can address the board on any matter. You can call in at 340-8771 or log on at penfield.org. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay, seeing none. This is the last meeting, the last legislative meeting of the board for 2018. Our next meeting will be our organizational meeting on January 2nd. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of the board, all of our staff and employees, to wish all of our residents a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. We look forward to supporting you in 2019. Seeing no further business to come before the board will stand adjourned at 7:18 PM. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday, and thank you for everyone that participated. Thank you to Penfield TV.